Are you tired, and I mean like tired, of being angry at your dad? Like, do you want to actually get those daddy issues of yours like solved and like, to do something about it? Well, I'm here to help you to actually to do just that with just some very practical, direct tips on things that you can do because you're not powerless in this journey. There's a lot of stuff like you have a hand in what is going to happen next. So I just want you to know that there's a lot you can do. So please stick around, get some of this advice, share it with whoever you know, and yeah, hopefully it'll help get you to a better version of you. Hey everyone, my name is Onyeka, and that's spelled own, and as in owning something, yay, and then ka. So I'm here to actually show you something that you might have never seen before. And some people are like, what's he talking about? What have I never seen before? By that I mean like how Jesus can show you, talk to you through anime and literally like help you to heal from anything that's going on in your heart, essentially. You know what I mean? And I know for some of you, you're like, yo, what is it? Heal from what? Like, I'm good, bro. I don't need anything. So what I'm talking about is that, like, that pain that was caused by your dad when he bailed on your mom when you were 5, or even like to get more serious, when if your dad ever beat your mom in front of you, which is like clearly traumatic. Like it like truthfully, if your dad has ever verbally abused you or neglected you or just isn't doing what a good father should, like that's your heart is definitely hurting. That much I guarantee. The thing is just you just don't know it. So what I'm just gonna show you is even just like the things, like the impact of a bad father on somebody and how you can heal from it. And I'm gonna use one of the greatest tools I think to really transmit this message, and that's gonna be done through this amazing, amazing anime series. Yeah, check it out. Like this anime series is on another level. I mean, seriously, on another level. It's like it's like Marvel fused with anime and did a fusion dance. Sorry, and then went Super Saiyan 4. Like, and y'all know that's crazy. Like, it's the feels and chills and the themes and the good vibes on this is Boku no Hero is crazy. I personally recommend it to anybody who has not checked it out. Please watch it after this video. And for this episode, we'll actually be checking out Todoroki's toxic relationship with his own dad. We're also how Deku helped him out of the situation, and also like how you can also be helped out of your situation by just following the 4 tips I'll give you in this video. So for those of you who didn't know, this episode we're actually really talking more about Todoroki dealing with his daddy issues and starting that journey to actually like heal from all of it. So first of all, who's Todoroki? So Todoroki is essentially, imagine Prince Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender as a superhero, as a young superhero. That's like the best like example I have to describe him. Essentially, like this guy, born into power, has amazing powers like fire and ice. I mean, that's pretty cool to me. I mean, he also, good looks, and also great talent to be an amazing hero. Now, the problem is that Todoroki can also come off as arrogant, prideful, cold, and also has this intense anger towards his father, the number two hero, and that's Endeavor. We'll talk about him in a little bit. And the thing is just this: Todoroki is going through doing all this stuff, like in terms of trying to actually become a hero. One thing he does, he believes the anger he has towards his dad is justified and it's normal. The only thing is just that he doesn't know that on the inside, that anger is actually burning him alive. Crazy. So who is Todoroki's dad? Todoroki's dad is Endeavor, and he's a number two hero in Boku no Hero. He's right behind All Might. His quirk is actually fire, and he's a pretty powerful hero. The only thing also is that he is also very prideful about his abilities, and he's just like he's like he's like so crestfallen that he can't become the number one hero, and like it gets to the point where he tries to raise a number one hero of his own through his children, but this is just him like treating them terribly. You can't go have fun, you can't do this, like you're only here to get stronger because of this goal that I have, because I can't trump what All Might does. That's essentially Endeavor. And it's also that the things he does, like just that inadequacy between him and All Might when they're compared, it makes him like he now treats his family terribly. I mean, so harsh on and Todoroki, like so harsh also on Todoroki's mom and his own children, and then all this stuff accumulates to the point where like Todoroki has a very, even though he has money, good family, according to powers and abilities and everything, he has a not so great childhood, and this intense hatred, I can even call it, of his father because of how his father treated his mother terribly. It causes him to now like reject his father, to want nothing to do with him, and even go to the point where like remember I told you he has fire and ice, Todoroki, to the point where he rejects even using his fire abilities. So even if they can help him, he won't do it because of the fact that he sees that fire part of him as his father, and he really, really doesn't like his father. Yeah. So here's where it gets very interesting, and this is where I add Jesus into this anime that I'm talking about. The amazing thing about Jesus is that he doesn't want you to suffer in pain. He doesn't want to leave you to suffer there. Like he loves you so much that he wants to help you to actually deal with your trauma and start that journey of healing. Now sometimes he'll actually send people into your life to like shake things up about what's going on. These people, like there's things they say or what, like just their own personality, it ends up revealing to you that things are not okay with the way life is for you right now. And sometimes these people they'll push into very, very personal territory. I mean, like as personal as what happened to you when you were a child, a long time ago. But it's not like, don't be scared, it's okay, because if I mean, the main thing is that if God's sending them to actually reveal what's going on, it's actually to redeem it and actually help you heal once and for all. And these people, like, they're pretty tough. They like, I mean, if they're really from God, they won't back down just because you say, nah, I don't want to talk, nah, I'm okay, I'm good. Like they'll ask you questions, they'll say stuff that actually shakes your heart, and then you'll be like, yeah, something is not okay. And now those kind of people, they'll surprise you because sometimes it's not who you expect. Like I know for a fact, I don't think Todoroki, expected someone like Deku to really start unveiling those issues in his heart and help him to start that journey. And I mean, like, Deku is a complete surprise in all the stuff that happens in this anime. I mean, like look at him. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, I mean, Deku is a great kid. Quirkless at the start, but, you know, he ends up getting a chance to really become a hero and gain abilities. And you can see how big his heart is in terms of, like, how, like, people he wants to help. And he doesn't back down from helping someone, even if it hurts him. Like, literally. I know that's crazy, but yeah, Deku is definitely a unique one for sure. Everyone needs a Deku in their life. So if you're like Todoroki right now, as you're listening to this video, and you're still angry at your dad, I just want to let you know that anger it's not the solution. It is really not the solution. Like, anger is not your friend. It's not your power. It's not going to help you to be able to heal. In fact, it keeps hurting you. That's how it draws its power from you. Now, I'll tell you what anger will do. Anger will blind you. It'll cripple you. It'll cause you to pour out your pain in an unhealthy way. And it could cause you to literally freeze at the worst possible moment. And you really don't want that. I'm just telling you. Now, yeah, you're still, you're still angry at your dad. Oh, he did this, he did that, he did this, and then someone like that who comes into your life, like Jesus sends this guy or girl, and then they're talking to you like, yo, what happened? Like, why are you still angry at your dad? Like, are you okay with this pain in your heart? And then you're just like, why isn't this person just letting this go? But then you start to be like, yeah, like you start to uncover stuff that's in there, stuff that you really need to focus on and actually work on. And this is still Jesus talking through this person. And they don't give up on you. They're always like putting so much positivity and hope into you and telling you like there's a better way than what you know. Then that's when like that's when something like surreal happens. Something you will remember this day. I'm telling you when it happens to you. Like that's when like what Jesus has been trying to tell you the whole time finally gets through. And you it hits your heart, pierces through all those things that were getting in your way, anger, the issues, confusion, and then you finally hear the words that actually like unlock you to start healing, the words that you can actually do it as Jesus helps you, that you can become whole. You don't have to be afraid, that you can actually be a better person than who you were before. Like, you don't have to carry that pain in your heart. And that's when you start to just transform, like, all those things you were denying about yourself that maybe came from your father. Like, I mean, actual good traits. Maybe, it gave you, good features, hair, whatever, like some ability or whatever you have that is actually a good thing. Like, that's when you actually start to be like, hey, maybe this is actually something that's a part of me. It's part of the power that is being given to me.
俺はこいつを親父の力を君の力じゃないか
ああ、その通り。個性というものは親から子へと受け継がれていきます。しかし本当に大事なのはそのつながりではなく、自分の血肉、自分であると認識すること。そういう意味もあって私はこう言うのさ。私が来たってね。
でもヒーローにはなりたいんでしょ。いいのよ、お前は。
いつの間にか忘れてしまった。
血にとらわれることなんかない。なりたい自分になっていいんだよ。俺は
戦闘において左は絶対使わねえ。使った。
左側を使わせた。緑谷少年、君はまさか轟少年を救おうと。
勝ちてえくせに。畜生、敵に塩を送るなんてどっちがふざけてるって話だ。俺だってヒーローに。
And now you can actually, is when you now go on and take that step and realize, like, it's possible for you to heal from those daddy issues. It's possible for you to become a better father than your father ever was. And I'm just telling you that that's definitely possible. It's not some myth out there. It's not some, like, something denied to you. It's just like Jesus can help you get there. I just want to let you know that don't go it alone. You're not alone. You don't have to be. Please, don't get freaked out when I mention Jesus to you. I definitely understand that a lot of people have an allergic reaction to things, all things religious. I can understand. I'm not a fan of religion myself. The reason I say it is just because religion is something that human beings made. That's not how Jesus wanted to introduce himself to you. Now, why do I say this? I say this because context is so important to understanding pretty much everything in this world. The word religion in its original like understanding actually means to search. Now, this is why if you're in a religion, they keep giving you a lot of things to keep you busy. You're clapping, you're singing, you're doing all these things. And meanwhile, like, you're not getting closer to God. It's almost like these people are doing it to just keep you busy while you're searching, so that they'll just manipulate your emotions and hold on to the power that they have over you through whatever religion it is you believe in. Crazy. Like, I'm just telling you, Jesus is not about all this religious stuff that you see going on out there. Like, he's a son of God who died on the cross to set you free from, and you may be like, yo, free from what? What do I need to be free from? He died to set you free from, like, dark things. Those things that keep manipulating mankind throughout generation after generation. Like, things like pride, wickedness, poverty, greed, like, lust and ignorance. Just things that just keep crippling people again and again and again when they go it without Christ. And just to show you he sacrificed himself so that you can actually conquer these things through him and take charge and control over your destiny and flow and become who you're meant to be with him as your guide. That's really what Christ wants to do with you. And that's really what I really wanted to do, to try and change my destiny. Because every time I looked at my own father, I get so angry that I couldn't even think straight. Now, my father used to be good to us, when I was younger, but disappointments and broken dreams in life turned him seriously into a whole different person, where he'd insult us, manipulate us, and just treat us terribly, literally verbally abuse us. And then if the manipulation didn't work, then he'd threaten us with insults. And living in that climate of fear and anger, in my own opinion, is something that I would not want anybody to go through, ever. It's not healthy for the mind and just growth in general. And at a certain point, at some point in time, I had to ask myself, what's wrong with this guy? Seriously, I couldn't understand what was going on. I didn't know what to do, what to say, just a lot of anger just in me about what was going on. I'm I didn't ask myself. I didn't ask to be in this guy's life. I didn't ask to be his son. So I'm why is he treating me and his family like trash? Until one day it hit me that this guy, my father, doesn't know how to be a father to me. and that if I keep waiting for him to change, I'll be the one in trouble. Because that's not him changing it's not guaranteed. No one changing is ever guaranteed. So that was when I made the decision to start looking at the origin of fatherhood and looking at the original model, which is God. And what does it take to really be a father, a great father, not just a good one. And that's how I stumbled also upon these 4 tips that I'm about to give you as to you starting that healing process from your own issues with your father. Tip number 1 is to ask Jesus for help. Let's face it, if you're watching this video, it's because you yourself have daddy issues or you know somebody who does. With people who do have daddy issues, them not healing could be a combination of several factors, including either pride or anger towards the person who caused the hurt. Now they think that they have a solution, that they can do it their way. But what ends up happening is that they get wrapped up in more misery and pain, similar to a fly in a spider's web. Now, just really think about it. Let's say if someone was drowning at sea and they can't swim and there's nobody around to save them, would they be able to get free? The answer is no. Now, the thing is that you might be that person who is drowning. And I don't mean literally. I mean you're drowning in a sea of anger, confusion, and pain. You're scrambling for what's the best option to work out, but nothing seems to get you out of the hurt and misery that you're in. Asking for help is a really great thing, because it's a sign that you're honest with yourself about certain key things, that you're in over your head, that you don't understand what's going on, that you don't know how wounded you are, but you definitely want to be free from the pain and hurt. Now we both know we both know that you've tried doing it your way, and that's failed. It didn't work out. But what if you try a better way, one that can help reveal the truth, and also to help you heal from the hurt that you're going through right now. if you want to put an end to that pain and start your healing journey, please join me in the simple prayer. Just you accepting Jesus into your life so he becomes your personal Lord and Savior, so he can work together with you in helping you with your healing. Almighty Father, I just say thank you, O Lord. I invite you into my heart. I proclaim you as my Lord and Savior. I give you everything that is me. I ask that you help me with this pain that's going on in my heart. Show me what I am to do. Heal and liberate me, that I will become everything you've destined for me to be. Amen. Tip number 2 is to learn about your father's family history. Is your father prone to anger? Is he an alcoholic? Is he abusive? Does he neglect you? If the answer to any of these questions is yes, then you might need to do some investigating. And you can ask your mom, you can ask a family member, like somebody in your family tree knows how your father used to be before he even became a father. And now this is going to help you to understand whether your father, whether certain things have been running through your family for generations, or it's just that something happened to make your father now start acting towards you and their family in a negative way. The reason I say it's important to know this is just so you gain a better understanding as to how your own father behaves. And don't think that this is some exclusive thing that's happening to just you or your family alone. There are a lot of fathers across the world who are repeating historical things, bad things, terrible things, that are causing hurt and pain and misery to their families across the world. You getting this knowledge as to, your father's character, like studying if, maybe his grandfather was an alcoholic, or your great-great-grandfather was an alcoholic, or, what trauma happened in their life, in your life of your family line that led your father to start acting this way, just so you know how to actually combat that with knowledge. I'll give you an example where, say if your father is prone to anger and you find yourself being angry at him, or you find yourself being angry in so many different situations where you're like, where is this coming from? Combating it, acknowledged by that I mean you get read a book, literally. You get to understand yourself as well, but in addition you read a book about dealing with anger management. That does not mean you're crazy. Does not mean it just means you know that there's an issue that needs to be dealt with, so that you're actually learning about anger, so you know how to control it. You know what to do if you're provoked. You know signs that you're angry and what to do to avoid letting the anger lead to a negative conclusion. Yeah. Tip number 3 is going to be to forgive your father. Now, this is forgiveness is definitely an abnormal thing. I definitely have to say that for sure. It literally goes against that payback mentality that you find in human beings, where if someone's hurt you or done anything to you of any kind that's negative, human knowledge says you should pay them back in the same way they paid you. But I don't know about you, but fighting pain with pain usually leaves both sides hurt, and no one gets healed in that whole equation. Now, when I say forgiveness, it's also just to help to break past the impact of any trauma, that trauma on your actual mental health and yourself. I don't know if you notice this, but a lot of people who have emotional pain, they or just deep childhood trauma, they tend to avoid talking about that issue sometimes, just cause or they'll clam up or freeze or get angry if you're mentioning a specific issue related to that trauma or issue, because sometimes human beings, we want to avoid pain, Because if you don't know how to deal with the pain or handling it, even though it's causing issues in your heart and spilling over to who you really are, like you want to, like, it's almost like a self-defense mechanism is what I'd say, to avoid that pain. Now, this is why I say forgiveness itself is it's it's unnatural, but it's also hard. But I don't say that to scare you away. I say that just to be completely honest with you. To lie and tell you that it's a cakewalk is just it's just not true. The only reason I say that it could be difficult is because it's really you facing that pain that you might have been running from for a long time, but you facing that thing not alone, but with Jesus helping you. It will help you to get past the pain, heal from it properly, and now become who you were always destined to be. Forgiveness itself is not, it's not you letting, it's not like, quote, it's not you letting the other person get away with what they've done to you. Forgiveness is you essentially, you let that person go and you let go of what they've done to you in your heart so that it no longer has any negative effect on you. And what do I mean? Like, imagine you're in a room where that room itself is on fire. And that fire, those flames represent the pain caused by the whatever trauma or anything your father's done to you negatively that's affected you in a very huge way. And let's say, like, again, you're in that house that's on fire and you don't know what to do. Forgiveness is you're removing yourself from that room, essentially. And by that I mean the door itself to forgiveness is Jesus. This is why you need him. You have to, like, it's praying to him to ask him for help on that. But if you're in that room, again, this analogy I'm using, forgiveness is you walking out of that room. So that, because once you're outside that room, there's no more smoke inhalation, there's no more burns, none of that stuff. You're no longer affected by the climate in that room. So if you've really entered into forgiveness, that's where you really forgive. You say, all this stuff this person's done to me, I let it all go. I forgive them. And this is you saying, like, I don't want to pay them back for what they've done to me. I let them go as Christ helps me to do so. And then this is something where, like, you can now be free. Like, you won't be manipulated by that pain anymore. And also you'll stop those, like, times where someone's presence will hijack, like, call it hijacking. It'll hijack your emotions. So you could be A-okay one time, and then next thing you know, the person, whoever hurt you, if they enter the same room, you go from A-okay to super angry. And everyone's like, what's wrong? Are you okay? But they don't know that that's you reacting to this person because of the pain that's in your heart. Now, I'm really gonna believe that you, whoever is watching this, that you're a person of your word. That when you say that you'll do something, you really, really mean it. And in that same vein, when you ask Jesus to help you forgive your father, because you can't do it alone, that you really, really mean that in your heart. And again, back to what I'm saying, forgiveness is not easy because it's a first step in you healing, but it's necessary because it removes you from that climate of pain that exists in your heart because of what happened before. And you being removed is necessary so that you're healthier, you think better, and you can function as you were always destined to be, free from the pain and trauma. Now, taking this step is huge. It's gonna I'm telling you, like, mark this day if you're watching this, because if you follow through on this, you're gonna see a lot of stuff change in your life. I'm just like, because a lot of people are being held back by a lot of pain in their hearts that they haven't let go of. But the day you choose to let go of it, and it's a choice, you're going to unlock a part of yourself that you've never seen before. I'm just telling you, because there's you. Remember the Snickers thing? You're not you when you're hungry. So you're not you when you're traumatized. So imagine yourself trauma free. Imagine yourself pain free. Who does that person look like? I'm telling you, it's just anyway. You'll check it out when you do that. Now, if you have the courage and you want to join me, please, no pressure at all. I'm just giving you stuff that has worked for me too as well, because I did hit that point where I tried everything I thought, and I tried to doing it on my own and all this stuff and saying, like I said, I forgave my father, but God was showing me that I really hadn't done it. So I hit the point where I was like, okay, I had to even tell God, like, I can't forgive this guy on my own. Like, it's too hard. So that's where I asked, Jesus, like, yo, help me to do this, because I can't do it on my own. And that day was when I felt like a peace like never before. Oh, jeez, it was it was unbelievable, and I couldn't believe it was just like I'm the kind of person where if I say I'm gonna forgive someone, I mean that. So that's why I wouldn't say it if I don't mean it. So because of that, me saying like I'm like I'll follow through on this, it's what unlocked a lot, like really led to that true forgiveness occurring in my heart, and the peace that I felt, which just kept showing itself up from that point onward. And I forgiveness it's a start of the journey to healing. It doesn't just end with forgiveness. Forgiveness is a start, but it's an amazing start. It's the greatest start. And it first starts to me with this prayer where, if you don't mind, please join me right now, wherever you are across the world. And let's, yeah. Dear Heavenly Father, I just say thank you. I bless you for who I am. I thank you for everything you've done for me. I know that I'm trying to forgive my father, but it's so hard because of all the pain, all the history, all the everything. I can't do it on my own. I say it clearly because I'm not gonna lie. Like, what's the point? What's the point of hiding and pretending all this time? I can't do it on my own, but with you helping me, I can do this thing. I can walk in forgiveness. Teach me forgiveness, Father, Lord. Help me not take away any anger in my heart. I release this person in me from my heart, oh Lord. And I thank you for setting me free from the pain, oh Lord. Teach me about forgiveness and help me to walk in forgiveness. Thank you so much, Father. Amen. So by saying that, you're engaging Jesus in terms of helping you, because you need help with this, like someone to partner with you on this. So through different things, depending on how he leads you, in as to how you can actually walk in forgiveness, because like forgiving the person, it's not just your words alone. Walking in forgiveness is even can be you doing kind acts to them as God leads you. Like, this is more contextually, like if it's and when I say kind acts to them, you can pray for them, you can you can even say hi to them if you get to that stage, because walking in forgiveness is a gradual process. I'm not going to tell you go from zero to hugging your dad if you and him have not talked in 10-20 years. That's a jump. and like, say, like, for context, if it's something like, if it's related to like sexual trauma, I would suggest, like, just keep the distance and just monitor that as God leads you, because I'm not going to tell you to go back to someone who's abused you. It doesn't make sense. But as God guides you, it doesn't mean you can't still forgive them and wish them the best, that they get the healing they need. Because if someone had done something, anything like your father neglecting you, or abusing your mom, or abusing you verbally, sexually, any way, kind or shape or form, it's a sign there's something wrong with them. And it's a sign they need help. It's a sign that they also need healing. So that can be something you do as you're walking in forgiveness. You also pray for them. You continue on your healing journey, and you don't think ill of them, and you don't focus on the negative parts of them. That's like walking in forgiveness is a continuous thing. But as you do that, you'll continue to evolve. You yourself, you're continuing to let go of the pain, continuing to now operate pain-free outside that. And now you can talk to someone else who might be in that situation and tell them, hey, this is where I came from. My life wasn't perfect. I'm not gonna lie to you and say our family was amazing. That's what you saw on the outside, but on the inside it was chaos. But look at where I've come from. Look how far I've come. Because of Christ helping me to be able to heal properly, to heal completely. So now my mind is clear, my heart is clear, and I can become everything that I'm destined to be, thanks to Christ and everything He's done for me. Yeah, that's tip number 3. So tip number 4, and this is the last tip, is to get wisdom on how to be a great father. Now this tip is super crucial for your healing journey, so that you get to learn what the real model looks like. Something that your father might not have been to you. Now with this, just because your father wasn't a great father to you does not mean that you have to continue that trend. Now, and I say that you getting wisdom on how to be a great father, and by that I mean the way that Jesus would have you be, because there's already a model that exists. You don't have to go reinvent the wheel. Now, that being said, the truth is that if you don't learn how to be a great father, you're going to become a bad one by default, because you don't know how to be a great father. It's simple. Like if you didn't know physics and I push you to do a physics test or exam, how would you pass that exam? You don't have the knowledge. So it's pretty much impossible for you to pass. So in that same vein, for you to actually succeed at being a great father requires knowledge and preparation. You actually study to become that. Like, again, similar to like a lawyer, engineer, doctor, they didn't wish to be a great father. Wish to be a great person in their profession. They didn't, it's not just imagining or aspirational. They put in the work. They actually, studied tremendously, in addition to putting actual working hours towards building that career that they have. And it's the same thing with fatherhood. You actually have to prepare for it. Preparing for it will help you to just avoid so many of the issues that you see happening in a lot of homes, with even homes that have fathers present, not to talk of the ones where those father figures are absent. And now you getting this knowledge is key. It's just also to show you that some of these people some of the fathers, like maybe your father who's hurt you, or a friend whose father's hurt them, they didn't get the knowledge. For them, what they knew back in their era was that being a father meant you providing food, providing money, providing shelter, providing education. Those things are all well and good. It's just that there's a lot more to being a father than those things. And if your father did all that stuff but never spent quality time with you, you guys never got to talk, or he's doing things like portraying negative vices that are teaching you the wrong things, now this is where you now come into all these issues and all this other stuff that shows up where, and can leave people traumatized for like decades even. So the main point of this is to just that getting wisdom is key. It's paramount for you to actually become a great father. And I would advocate, again, just read, literally, 4-letter word. Read, study, learn how to be a great father, as in read books, yeah, or listen to podcasts. I know we're in the age of podcasts and videos, so you can do that online. Listen to any people who are they giving sound knowledge on how to be a great father, not just theoretical feel good stuff, but practical tips on things you can do. You know what I mean? What to be aware of, handling stress, managing a family, how to relate with your wife, and this is me talking to the men there, or yeah, things like that, so that you're not caught off guard by these things, and literally that knowledge is what will help you to build a better foundation. And literally and this is why I personally challenge you on this, go beyond your father's mistakes. Seriously, so many people will thank you for it. Like your future spouse, your children, your future children, your community. Like so many people win from you actually learning from your father's mistakes and fixing and correcting them. So that's definitely something I would definitely advocate and say it's going to help you and everybody else. Now, when I say like study and read, like, you could even get some books too as well, where, the Bible is also a good book to refer to as well. It does also have a lot of information there about fatherhood. And also there are also some non-biblical books out there, but they too can also have some interesting tips for you as well. I just say, ask Jesus to help you on that knowledge search, so you're finding the right information, and then you can build and grow based on that information that you actually acquire. Now, the second part of you getting wisdom is, I would say this is actually important. I'd say getting a mentor, someone who is already a father or a father figure. Like they're doing this thing the right way. Like they believe in Christ, like he's their model, and then they have no issue showing you about their life, both the mistakes they've made and also what you should do. Like, that is the kind of person where they'll talk to you about, the things they wish they knew about fatherhood before they became a father, or things that they're learning, or things where they say, like, this is something you'll only experience when you're in the thing itself, but this is what you should be aware of. Essentially, they'll give you a lot of like practical, on the ground, like they're living it, so they can tell you best. And for that one too as well, just ask God as well to guide you as to who that person is supposed to be. It's not everybody for sure, but I do believe that there's someone, whether it's someone physically in the same city or town where you live, or there's someone who online, who they're like similar to me, where their messages can still reach you and give you some very practical tips as to what you can do to become the great father that is in you. It's in there. We just have to bring it out with the right knowledge, right guidance, and proper education. And that's what I'd say about tip number 4. That's our final tip. So those are the 4 tips that I have for you in regards to dealing with any of those daddy issues or wounds caused by like negligent fathers. The main thing I really just want to stress is that you are not alone. Don't ever believe that in this thing. There are tons of people across the world who are going through the exact same thing. The good thing is that you're actually listening to this video and you're getting help in regards to a solution to deal with this thing. And I would just say, do not suffer in silence. Don't go it alone. Use these tips, apply them diligently. If you have any questions about them beyond this video, please feel free, send me an email. The email is in the about us section of this video. And I want to help you to be able to get there so that you can become everything you're destined to be. Like that's my own personal belief. I really believe that beyond, like, Jesus himself can help you to heal properly from this pain and really discover the destiny he has for you that's buried inside of you. But you won't be able to do that if you're not full, if you haven't healed, and these tips are going to help you to start that journey. Yeah, and I know God helped me to be able to do just that, and I'm praying that he'll be able to do the same thing for you too as well. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching the video up until this point. Do you have any comments or anything you want to say about the video? Is it good? Could be better, whatever it is. Please let me know in the comments. Just drop your comment in the right down below. And also, you can also shoot me an email. My email itself is animenoyesu@gmail.com. And I'll be more than happy to chat with you as to whatever it is you definitely want to talk about. So now, before I let you go, I do have this last scene that I think will be really cool. Y'all want to check it out. Really just that final clash between Todoroki and Deku. And yeah, catch you guys next time.
何を笑ってんだよ。その怪我でこの状況でお前イカれてるよ。どうなっても知らねえぞ。 これ以上は顔の身が持たない。なるべく近くでバリッだけは全力でかかってこい。